Alright, live once again, and I decided I'm going to be doing another journey through the mind. And similar to the last one, except this time it's actually going to be reversed. Instead of me actually asking, it's now going to be you guys actually asking me, like which specific part of the mind that I'm going to be embodying for like about a few minutes or two. What the? Well, I got landed on his face. But anyway, so in order for this really to actually work as intended, I'm going to need. I don't know why the heck I did that. Just do this. I'm going to scooch this out of the way. I'm going to bring that up so that way I'm a little bit more visible. Okay, there's that. Okay, that can get out of the way. Down, and down you go. And there should be just this left. Okay. So, to kind of give a little bit of like how this walking through the mind thing works. Essentially, the way it works goes as follows. Pretty much, you have one person pretty much become the one that is, I guess, best way to put it is the one that's actually doing the journeying. Like they're the ones that actually go within and they find that part within them, that part of themselves, and then they bring it out as like the dominant form of awareness. But then the other person or the other individual is actually the one saying which one to bring out. And whichever one that's brought out, the same person that actually directed the other on what to bring out then asks, like, for example, say somebody said, "May I speak to Dread," for an example. So then what I would do is go within and find that feeling of dread and bring it out. And then with the person that's actually wanting to speak to this emotion or trait, then asks if they're speaking to whichever one it is. And then the person that's embodying that trait or state of awareness responds with, yes, it is, and then it goes from there. So, to kind of give an example with the dread one. So, you have asking to speak with dread, the other goes within, dread comes to the forefront. Then you have, am I speaking with dread? Yes. Then the other person asks, what is that you're dreading? And then it goes from there. It's a technique that actually really gets you to really go deep into the subconscious part of the collective, being able to go in and pretty much focus on one, bring it to the forefront, interact with it, and understand it better. So in this case, say if going along with dread, say, what is that makes you be the way you are? Past in history. Even right now. Hello, Anant. even like right now, just the thought of it makes me just be so intimidated. And then after when the the individual that's like calling out whom to speak to is finished, they dismiss him. So then it would be like, okay, all right, Dredd, you're free to go if you'd like. And then they get dismissed. And then they continue on to the next one. But really, that's how walking with the mind actually works. Best put it. So let's see. So, Anand, would you actually mind, kind of actually, what's that called? Pretty much participate, but like kind of like picking a certain like emotion or state of awareness. Like, for example, say like in the chat, just like may I speak to, like for example, something like a protector, a healer, mender, sadness, depression, anxiety, anger, blissfulness, something along those lines. So that way I can kind of give an idea, like what I'm going on about. And when you actually choose which one, then actually ask if you're speaking to whichever one you asked to speak to, and then you actually then ask anything you want towards it, if that makes sense. So that way you can kind of see it like an action, if you don't mind. Not sure if it's. Let me get that out of my life. Get that out of my life. There we go. Am I muted? I hope not, because if I'm muted, I'm going to be agitated. Hello, anything. Thank God. And again, big snap cups to Annie for being the first member, and she gets a lot of perks being one. Yeah, let's try this again. Oh, that's probably why. Because my my microphone volume level is to the floor. That's a problem. We gotta fix that. How about that? Hopefully that fixes it. If not, I'm gonna throw it off a cliff. And I don't know if I'm lagging, because I really hope I'm not lagging. Because if I'm lagging, I'm going to throw this computer off a cliff. Let's see, maybe if I scooch that there. Okay. Is the beautiful sound of my voice coming through? I hope not. I hope it is, because I'm not going to throw this microphone off a cliff. There we go. No. Don't you do it. Because I really hope I just bit my tongue. I really hope that, YouTube is actually doing what it's supposed to do and not being dim-witted. But if it's being dim-witted, well, piece of crap. I don't care. Okay, good. Okay, goody. So, because I don't know if I'm like, okay, good. So, since I'm audible, that sounds weird. I guess I'll instead just have Annie be the one to kind of demonstrate what I was just going on. Oh wow, that was a stupid thought that popped in my head. You have you have a you have a navy blue tooth? No, Brendan, no. Not a blue tooth, like an actual tooth that is blue. No. Oops. Oh well. So anyway, to kind of actually like demonstrate this technique in the show. Okay, let's see. Oh, I just blinded myself. That would be. There you go. This thing took 3,000 years. The easiest way loading is to simply go to here. If this thing would load a little bit faster, I mean now. Thank you. Okay, is there really? Where the heck did it go with that? Oh, okay, there it is. I just want to make sure it was there. That would be like over here. Be the most simplistic. Or you can't even, if for some magical reason. Oh no, never mind. It worked. I just tested it. Tested it. I don't even think that's a word. Tested it. That was like the best English I've ever used in my life. Okay, it works. Let me get that out of my way. Ugh, people. No, I will not do that. No, I will not be wasting my resources for somebody who didn't appreciate me the first correct time. Doing it. Not doing it. I had enough of it and pissing and sticking. Not anybody that was in the live stream, but just, and I kind of get not a little bit, but like extremely agitated and annoyed with. Oh, let somebody raise the budget. Probably another can. Yes, 20 ounces of pure red taurine. I'm just going to assume I didn't see what I just saw. Just going to nod and just look past it. I'm sorry. I have to play this because it just makes me just go really. Let me just find. Oops, my finger was slipped. Stupid thing. Oh, there it is. I had it, then I decided, oh, you're never gonna find me. Joke's on you. I just did. Hmm. Oh boy. So, the following thing I'm gonna play. Okay, let's do this. How do I put this in a very nice, gentle way? What I'm gonna play is called "Preacher Calls for the Mass Execution of Gay People." Okay. Alrighty, so let's hear this thing and watch me just make him a laughing joke of the night. Speed and action. I'm ready to face palm myself to death.
Does God say is the answer, is the solution for the homosexual in 2022, here in the New Testament, here in the book of Romans, that they are worthy of death?
Worthy of death, huh? Worthy of transformation? Yeah, transforming out of your stupidity and transforming into a higher state of awareness that looks at you and go, ha! Oh, besides, that's not the first time I've heard that one. Um, could you use something next time that's not associated with the religious system as your weapon? Because I mean that's so old. Can you ever think of anything else to try and throw at me? Because so not original. Besides, it doesn't say that in Romans anywhere, by the way.
These people should be put to death.
Put me to death, huh? What's your just cause for that?
Every single homosexual in our country should be charged with the crime, the abomination of homosexuality that they have.
Oh, here's the funny thing. Number one, man, faith, religion, and the state or the government. You cannot charge somebody with a crime with religious law in the United States. You can't do that. Because if that's the case, well, then here's what my belief system says about you. If you're stupid like him, I have the right to push you off a cliff. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? But hey, that's what my faith is. You see how stupid it sounds? It's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is in, where's this thing at? um, right. YouTube channel member, executive producers, gay as fuck dragon. But still, it's like, um, charged with a crime. Well, the thing is that, again, you cannot use religious book as legal grounds to stand on. Because somebody's belief system, you cannot bring it into a court of law. You can't. But you can also do this instead. Instead of actually swinging and going after the congregation or the church, you go after him as an individual. Sidestep that. Well, it's my faith. No, 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 no. We have grounds to believe that you actually might be planning an act of terror. Oops. Here's your smallest violin, dude. Calling for the murder of all of a certain. Actually, it's a protected status, by the way. Going after a protected status of people and calling for them to be executed. Well, I don't know about you, but that is kind of showing signs that you actually may have probable cause to commit an act of domestic terrorism. Hey, you have probable cause because you have the will to say it. So, nope, your faith can't protect you because we're not going after you because of a belief system. We're going after you as an individual. get bamboozled. And that also the same thing too, like for an example, with the Westboro Baptist Church. You don't swing at the congregation, you swing at each individual person as an individual. You arrest the individual and charge them singularly, not the congregation, because they're going to use their religious group as a defense. You swing at the individual for trespassing and disturbing the peace intentionally. But that's not my business. I'm not a lawyer, but what do I know? But to resume with this Hugh font.
They should be convicted in a lawful trial.
Convicted in a lawful trial. Problem, though. You cannot convict somebody in the court of law in the United States with using your grounds of law from a religious book in the United States. A belief system is not the law of the land here, Cupcake. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. In a fair trial, in a lawful trial, okay. Sir, why are you bringing him to trial? He's one of them. He's one of them bags. Yeah. So what about it? What's the crime? I would even like to know, Your Honor, because all that I know is I exist, and he's having a big hissy fit. It's like he's never seen a happy person before, which is actually the original definition of gay. So yeah, dude, you he who fun, look how dumb you look. Get wrecked. Get fisted. Not literally. But get, exactly. Yeah, cartwheels, backflips. Off.
That they have, they should be convicted in a lawful trial. They should be sentenced with death. They should be lined up against the wall and shot in the back of the head.
I'm flattered that, he wants to have people like me in his mouth. And actually to say such strong things. But one problem, though. That's grounds for domestic terrorism. Sorry, Cupcake. That's not going to look good.
That's what God teaches.
Oh, that's what your higher power teaches, huh? Wow. And this is none of my business, but what do I know? And you guys are pointing at Satanas and Lucifer Gerber and calling him the murderous one, the one that's the most evil and destructive. Don't know about you, but what he just said kind of clash. But what do I know? That's not my business. He's becoming the tushy of the jokes tonight.
That's what the Bible says.
I don't think. Well, the thing is with the Bible, I don't think it actually has any mentions of a gun, or even a rifle, or even a handgun. I don't think they actually mention anything going boom boom LaRue with. Sorry. Whiff it. Just whiff it. Critical fail. It's like faith check. Critical fail. God says get your bang bang LaRue and shoot happy people. Well, you critically failed, dude. Raise your violin.
You don't like it, you don't like God's word.
I don't like it because that's not what's in there. You're coming up with stuff because you're trying to push an agenda that. Oh. Wow, Adam, I didn't know you got reincarnated as a he who fund. Oh well. Besides, he kind of looks like a younger Mark Zuckerberg. But what do I know? Twat head.
Because that is what God says.
Nope. Sorry, Cupcake, you're incorrect. I never have heard that passage before. Okay.
If you think
Oh, here we go. And here's actually him justifying it. It says, if you think this is funny, I find this hysterical. If you think that is murder, you don't even understand what murder is. Okay? Being put to death by the government is not murder. It's capital punishment. One problem though. When you take the life of another individual, dignified or not dignified, it's still murder. First degree, second degree, involuntary manslaughter, it's still murder. Hello, Michael. A capital punishment? No. That is being executed. That which is still murder. Critical fail. Sorry, he who fun, you just whiff it. Just whiff it. Just whiff it.
punishment.
Okay, let's see. What else does he say?
Reprobate son-
Oh, okay. Let's go, he who fun. Round 3. Let's go. Wait. Oh, wait. Where'd it go?
And this called
Reprobate sodomites go up and shoot.
called capital punishment. Okay, that's interesting. Well, you know what? You go ahead. You judge for yourself. Here's some more clips from that sermon.
When wicked reprobate sodomites go up and shoot up a elementary school, you know what the sodomites are doing? They're rejoicing.
The what? The what now? Can you say that again?
Yourself. Here's some more clips from that sermon.
When
Sodomites? What the heck is that? Please hold while I actually look up the definition of that word, because I don't know what it means. And yeah, so sodomites. Don't tell me they're mites like, you know, like those bugs that are in like sodomites. Please don't tell me it's bugs that are in soda, because that would not. I don't. Because that would not. I don't know how. A person who engages in sodomy. Well, that's a pretty. Okay. Okay. Can we? Okay then. You don't say. I hate it when they give okay, sodomy. Sexual intercourse involving. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. Hold on, my connection is loading, so my connection is supposedly unstable. Probably YouTube is like, oh no, he's talking about something bad. God forbid. Am I still connected? Am I okay? Because I think, yeah. Because I think, YouTube is trying to make me believe it.
Yourself. Here, some more clips.
Because I think YouTube is trying to make me think that, oh, there's something wrong when it's not. Okay, good. So YouTube, please stop. Don't mess with me, please. Please don't mess with me. I already have enough dimwits to deal with. Don't make me have more, please. Okay, get in line then, YouTube. Get in behind. And go stand in line all the way over there. You have about 50,000 people ahead of you. Wait your turn. Yeah, because it says on my screen right here, it says, your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. Nope, not doing it. Goody. So, let's see here.
From that sermon.
Speak.
When wicked reprobate sodomites go up and shoot up a elementary school.
I mean, here's the thing. Listen. Here's the thing. My good sir, I have one question for you. How did you know that, each incident involving, a school shooting had somebody who participated in that? How do you know that? How do you know that they engaged in that? Were you the one that, was sticking it? Or were you the one that was catching it? Because how do you know that? Uh-oh. It's not even affecting me in a negative way at all. In fact, it's actually making me think, wow, this level of just embarrassment exists, because it's just like, really? And don't I think you also have to go to college in order to get a certain level of degree in what's that called? What is that type of degree called, or like certification or whatever? You know, what's that called? I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, having like a certain degree in order to be able to talk, even like to be like a pastor and stuff like that. Don't you have to have it to get a degree in education to even to do what he's doing? Because if that's the case, wow. I wish I could be something like that, except, instead of spewing BS like he is and actually say stuff that's actually true and legit. Like, oh, I don't know, here's a good one. If something bothers you, don't let it affect you, and don't let it, make you go into a hissy fit. Because the minute that you reveal that something bothers you, like what he's doing, you're making it an easy thing to throw back in your face. But go to preschool. Actually, oh man, that's just so bad. No, 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 no. I'm not going to say that joke because that's pretty bad. That is a bad joke. I'm not going to go that far. That one is not YouTube friendly. Let's just say, if you have to go to a school in order to learn how to even do what he's doing, but completely whiff the intent behind it, whoopsie. Oops. Okay, resume then.
You know what the Sodomites are doing? They're rejoicing.
So you mean to tell me those who engage in that kind of, interaction, they go, yay, we went boom boom the roo in a school. No. Cupcake. Having something, get, up the sphincter, that has nothing to do with a bang bang going off in his schools at all. It doesn't. This is, it's like, it's kind of like, what is that specific term called? Like one of those prophets are like, okay, doomsday is coming. He's gone mad.
They're happy about that.
I'm happy about a school being shut up. No, I'm sorry. Actually, if I was actually think like that, I think I would be, oh, I don't know, what would you say? I think I'd probably be kind of a little vile and sick in the head. And I don't think like that because I think, wow, children got shot? Wow. How come nothing was done to prevent this from happening? Okay, who's the twathead who allowed, this twathead to get a gun and kill children? Whose idea was that? And how come nothing stopped them? How come nobody tried to stop him? How come no initiative was taken? I'm not going to be thinking, yay, booms everywhere. No.
Because it says that they have pleasure in them that do all these things.
Leisure? I leisure? I leisure in those things. Leisure. I think he might want to be careful what kind of words he's using in his speaking. Leisure. Define that if you would. Leisure. They leisure in that. Okay, we are looking for a verb. We only have noun. Is freedom provided by... Okay, well, I think that word just came out of his tushy, but what else is new? So, next.
While a normal person would look at a Sodomites are doing, they're rejoicing.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yourself, here's some
Oops, sorry.
Sodomites are doing, they're rejoicing.
Okay. Whatever you say,
They're
Cupcake.
happy about that.
Well, what also made me pretty happy? If you actually had, one go down, the other way, then, it gets stuck. Not the way you're talking about, but the other way. Mm-hmm. reverse the way you're saying it. Uh-oh, it's stuck. Oh, well.
Because it says that they have pleasure in them that do all these things. You know, while a normal person would look at a tragedy or something really sad that happened, a child getting abused, you know, a school shooter, a murder, a rape, a really just sick crime, and our hearts would break over that.
Like when mine does, being, really mortified at that. That's what mine does. Just saying. Because, having, empathy and, being able to feel the, the shock, being mortified, and just having your heart shattered because children's lives were taken because of a twat head. That's kind of basic human nature to do.
And we would be grieved for the sin.
Well, guess what? Well, my good sir, but a few minutes ago you were talking about, having murder happen. Well, the thing is, saying that, people that are attracted to the same gender and having those kind of interactions, they need to be shot in the back of the head. Well, guess what? You just advocated for sin to happen. Murder's murder. Is it a sin? Yes or no? Well, God said nope. Is it a sin? Yes or no? Keep it simple. And is it a sin? Yes or no? Well, God said, keep it simple. Yes or no? Is murder a sin? Yes? Good. You advocated for sin then. Hello, Adam.
And for the wickedness that's gone on when they celebrated.
We don't celebrate, children being killed, you stupid twithead. World's dumbest he who font. Next.
They're happy about it.
No, I'm not.
Here's why homosexuals are so dangerous to society.
Apparently I guess I'm a danger to society. We as in like human beings. Now please tell me my dim-witted he who font. Why am I a threat to society? Let's see what he has to say.
They're not like other sinners in the sense that every single day that they are alive, they're being filled with more and more and more unrighteousness.
I'm not your everyday typical sinner, huh? I'm trying so hard not to bust up laughing because it's like, what time is it? Yeah, it's about 11 o'clock at night, and if I was to bust up laughing right now, I would be laughing like a hyena at this stupidity. Because here's the thing. According to that belief system, every human being is afflicted with sin. Sin you cannot measure because everybody's afflicted with it. Everybody's afflicted with it. There's no such thing as being more one and less of one. It's either you are one or you are one as a human being. And the longer I exist, apparently the more of a sinner that I am. Well, here's another bamboozle to you. Well, sin's an opinion. It is though. No, because naturally for me, I just don't feel that kind of urge at all. I just don't. And even if I was to even go towards that and try and force myself, it's not going to work. Because naturally, just my existence just doesn't, it like repels it. Well, I mean, all that I can say is that I know how I am, and I know myself better than anybody else. I mean, there's also in fact, I kind of actually instead look and think, okay, it's just body part as a woman. So what's the issue? And I also don't, instead of actually looking at a woman as a, as something to pleasure myself with, yuck. I don't even like thinking like that. I don't see them like that. Adam, please don't. Please don't, Adam. Yep, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm somebody who is an open book, but please don't don't swing at each other. Yes. But just don't swing at one another, and please don't swing at a woman in the chat, please. Please do not swing at a woman in the chat. And don't redirect it back to her when she's actually asking why was that said like that. And don't redirect it like that. Please don't. And I mean, it's not really even me catching it as this. Hello, food abroad. Well, what's happening is, well, I'm listening to a He Who Font, and it's kind of so. No, well, actually, well, Annie, you never did anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You're all good, Annie. And I mean, I gave everybody the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, the thing is, it's all about the intent, and I'm actually able to see the intent behind people asking. But I mean, the intent is wanting to know, okay, but also what you were trying to do, Annie. I mean, I saw that you were trying to actually stand up and stand up for me. That's the intent I saw. But there's also the intent from Adam's side that was just that's the intent I saw. But there's also the intent from Adam's side that was just wanting to know out of curiosity. Nothing wrong with that. But when it was redirected back, that's where it's like, no. If that makes sense. The issue wasn't, asking the questions at all. No, that wasn't the issue. It's redirecting the challenging of something that was a bit questionable and how it was pushed back. No. And again, I'm coming from a viewpoint that is trying to see both sides as, with their best intent behind, because that's how my mind operates. Tries to see the good first before trying to see the oops first. And that's actually a skill that I'm really thankful I have. But still, at the end of the day, at least in my chat, please do not push or do any kind of verbal swinging at any woman in the chat. Just please don't. Because that's one of the things that can really agitate me. I'm not saying it to be intimidating. Yeah, I'm not saying it to be intimidating. It's just my nature. Because my biological mother was abused mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. And I mean, to be completely honest, she actually risked her life thousands of times for me from my father having lost control of himself and could have put me in danger numerous times. She risked her life to ensure that I was out of harm's way repeatedly. And I mean, completely point blank, if it wasn't for my mother, I would not be alive. And not because of the typical, well, of course, she's your mother, she brought you into this world. Okay, duh. But more along the lines of her making the choice to put herself in a situation where she could have been killed after getting me out of harm's way, just to go back and try and prevent my father from pursuing and getting me back. Don't know about you, but yeah, I kind of don't have any right to look down on her, say anything bad about her, or pretty much see anything that she's done as bad. Because I don't have that right. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be right here in front of you right now. Because that's just the truth. And I mean, to put it as, well, pretty much what I was going on about was kind of explaining like how I have a history of actually witnessing and encountering women being, mistreated in a not so good way or being interacted with in a way that's not the best and not the most dignified. So it's kind of like it's a point where I just have the pushy darker side of me come out and get like, and I've also have uh, I have kind of exploded on a few twat heads in public, mistreating the woman that they're with. And yeah, I mean, it's not expected, but still, don't care. When I'm around, just don't. Please, just don't, because I don't want them, the, you know, feisty, aggressive side of me to come out and just table flip. And it doesn't come out often. It doesn't come out often. In fact, it comes out very rare. Of this He Who Font guy? Great. Give it time. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I never really understood why, why. Yeah, I called him a He Who Font. Listen, yeah, that guy. And yeah, a He Who Font, because to me, a He Who Font is essentially a figure who's trying to be all like, look, notice me, I am a guru. Well, I got to figure out how to make you all listen and look at me. But if you don't believe me, you're going to hell. Okay. Because the thing is, by technicality, what a Hierophant or the Pope is supposed to be is supposed to be like a guru figure. And a guru figure doesn't teach to be all like, how do I put this? A real guru doesn't just teach just to have everybody look at him and be all, dazzled by his appearance. Because he could care less how he looks. As long as, people are coming to him to listen. And even another thing, too. A guru figure doesn't need to do any kind of intimidation, any kind of speaking in a way that's illogical and with the intent of being malefic, baneful, or causing harm to others. Because Guru does not have any time to do that. And besides, if Guru was to do that, he already knows. If I was to do that, I'm going to have a lot of more years on this rock and a lot more lives to do. So I'm not going to do it. Guru already knows that. Mm-hmm. But he who found thinks he is a guru. He wants people to listen to him and be noticed by any means necessary. And when people don't listen to him, that's when the intimidation factor comes out. Meaning that if you don't listen to me, if you don't believe what I say, you're going to go and suffer. And that's not how you use your belief system and faith to kind of invite, an interaction and kind of give your viewpoint across to somebody else, and to try and actually have them understand your viewpoint and see if they would like to actually invest in the same viewpoint as you. That's not how you do it. You don't intimidate. You don't pretty much say you're going to burn in brimstone and suffer. No. In fact, that's kind of the reverse. But what do I know?
That is a scary thing. You want to know why we
Right.
say that all
Let's
in
go back.
society, they're not like other sinners in the sense that every single day that they are alive, they're being filled with more and more and more unrighteousness.
Well, that's another funny thing. Being righteous, again, is an opinion. What somebody sees as righteous may not be the same for somebody else. So just whiff it.
That is a scary thing.
I'm becoming less righteous by existing, and it's scary. Wow, I didn't know my existence was mortifying. Oh well, now I know exactly what to do. Just sit next to him and just look at him the whole time, being all, I really hope my existence next to you doesn't scare you. So, how does it make you feel knowing that there's a flamer right next to you? Looking at you just like the obsessive girlfriend watching your every little move. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm just going to go, hey, in your ear. Don't, no. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to do anything. Why would I do anything? Don't be silly. Come on, dude. Don't be silly. Oh, you did what? Oh, you actually had that happen to you just now? Oh no, he has the thing now, like he was preaching about. Oh no, he's gone even madder. And yes, I'm making satiric jokes about it because, hey, don't look at me. I wasn't the idiot.
You want to know why we say that all homosexuals are pedophiles?
Here's the thing. One, I took child development in high school for about close to 2 years of it, and I also worked at a school district as an instructional aide, which kind of requires a background check. Oh, and also just for giggles. When I was actually working at the school district and as well at the high school in the class, Fundamentals of Early Childhood and Introduction to Early Childhood Development, even though I was the only guy in the class, all the kids loved me because I knew how to actually connect with them and actually teach them in a way that actually got them engaged. That doesn't make me a pedophile, because the thing is that if anything bad was to happen to a child in my care, you better believe I'm going to go ballistic. And by ballistic, meaning that, oh, there's a shooter in the school? Okay, kids, you're going to be going here, and I'm going to just put myself in front. Fearlessly. I'm not going to give no damns. And I know that sounds so much easier to say when it's not happening to you, but still. In my care, there's a child with me, nothing's happened to that child. If anything's going to happen, it's going to hit me instead. Because nothing's going to happen to the child. If I have to fall, well, so be it. But that child's not going to get hurt.
Pedophiles? Let me make that very clear. All homosexuals are pedophiles.
So, Does that make the he who funds, that have been actually found to, do the, not so nice things with the choir boys and, all that? Does that make them pedophiles too? Does that make it, oh, wait a minute. I think I might bust open a big one, but here, hold my wine glass. Oh, these people that are supposed to be of law's men, look what they're doing. That's fishy. And it smells like low tide of the pier. Besides, I haven't heard that one before either. Next.
And people say, well, what about all the straight people that molest children?
They're still pedophiles. Orientation doesn't matter. You take advantage of a child's safety and well-being and a sense of innocence, and you scar them for life. You're still a pedophile. And that's sick in the head. If somebody has the audacity to take that away from a child, because here's the thing with it, when a child is developing, growing, the brain is extremely sensitive. Extremely sensitive. That's why traumatic events in a child, as they're growing up, if they get exposed to a lot of negative stimuli and traumatic events, scars them for life. And if it doesn't get treated right then and there and doesn't get addressed right then and there to try and at least mitigate it, it's going to be stuck in their psyche for the rest of their life. And that's something that cannot go backwards. It cannot go backwards. Once it gets to a certain age, it's locked in. It cannot go backwards. Once it gets to a certain age, it's locked in. And that's serious. And this is something that is, like what he's saying, it's something you don't make a big he who fun BS thing about. Because it's serious.
I don't care what you call them. If a person is with a child, you're reprobate, sodomite.
It's just
Let's see. Is there any more things that he says? Because I'm getting to the point where it's getting a little bit hysterical.
Oh, we're not allowed to say things that are true. Years ago.
that pedophilia
Next.
that weapon of concern. Also, another pastor of the church, the guy, God.
Okay. And here's another quote. According to God, we should hate pride, not celebrate it. You mean having self-confidence and pride in oneself? And actually being proud of who you are and your accomplishments? Well, here's the thing. When you're having vanity, that's just different from pride. Having self-confidence and self-empowerment is not the same as being vain. Vanity and vain is being narcissistic. And being narcissistic, that's not good. But having self-empowerment, self-realization, and putting the self first and knowing your worth and taking pride in your accomplishments and what you have achieved and gone through and learned along your life, you have a right to celebrate your accomplishments that you've gone through. Because the thing is, if you can't do that, okay. So tell me, he who fun guy. Nope, you cannot take pride in, your Lord's, teachings. You cannot take pride in that. Nope, you can't do it. You can't be prideful. It's either you can or you can't be. There's no yes or no. You have to pick one. Can you have pride? Yes or no? Well, yeah, you can have pride in. Nope. Can you have it? Yes or no? Keep it simple. That's how, cutthroat you have to be about it. Make it simple. Yes or no. Pride, can you have it? Yes, you can. It's a sin. No, it's not. Being narcissistic and vain to the point where you're putting yourself higher and then knocking other people down, that is. least based on their belief system as it's supposed to be, supposedly. But they're going off the cliff of oopsie whoops. God has already ruled that murder, adultery, witchcraft, rape, bestiality, and mass. What the heck? Mass.
He's already ruled that murder, adultery, witchcraft, rape, bestiality, and homosexuality are crimes worthy of capital punishment.
Here's the thing. Again, let me make it lovely and idiot proof. You cannot use religious belief system as the law of the land in the United States. You can't. Because here's the thing. Constitution's in the way, blocking that. Religious law cannot overpower and over supersede that. In fact, it can't even be brought in the courtroom. It can't. It cannot. And the thing is, murder, well, you take a life of another individual. Let's be real. Adultery. Well, the thing is, if you want to be technical, I mean, he did adultery. I mean, he did stick it and run. But that's none of my business. What do I know? He did. Stuck it and ran. He even committed it too. And I'm coming from a viewpoint that's, neutral. Same for how it is. Impregnated Our Lady Mary, and I call her Our Lady because that's her title. There's a fine line calling someone by their title and then addressing them as a personal divine figure. I'm addressing her as her title, as a sign of respect, not as a divine figure that I interact with. That's her title. It's still respectful. Just for clarity. Witchcraft. But here comes the funny part. You have to prove witchcraft in the court of law. But here comes the beautiful part. You can't. You know why? Because witchcraft, you actually need to have 3D physical evidence of it actually starting as something and then growing and escalating into an end result. You have to prove it. If you can't, sorry, I can't stand no evidence to prove it. Rape. Well, isn't that a little bit of a hypocrisy? What about that time when, our lovely Lady Lilith, was trying to be coerced and being demanded to be violated by Adam? The first man. I don't know about you, but, isn't that kind of advocacy of rape? And you know what they say, if you're advocating for something painful to happen, you're just as guilty. Oops. What do I know? Rape. Yep, again. Bestiality. Well, the thing is, I don't understand it. It is what it is. And homosexuality are crimes worthy of capital punishment. Well, again, you're not a judge. First off. Number 2, capital punishment. That is only done by the state. And only the judge and the state and a jury can carry that out into putting that into effect. In fact, it's the judge. And the thing is, a judge has to be so strict and stick by the law book. Has to stick by the law book. A religious text cannot influence him or her. It cannot. No ifs, ands, buts, or tushies. If religion does affect it, appeal, mistrial. Because he's now being biased or she's being biased. A judge has to be right in the middle, neutral, going by what the book says. That's just how it is. So, whoops, just whiff it.
Again, do it away from 2020.
Many acts of live it. Will not eat shellfish. Abomination. True. Shrimp, or they're gay. Does anybody who watches the Young Turks know? he thinks the wife might be cheating on the kid, then God aborts the baby. For good in the world, use your religion to spread hate. Your religious texts. You want to spread hatred in the world? We're not going to let you. We're going to fight back.
But yeah. And even that's another thing too. And also, I'm not paying attention to the chat, so that way everybody knows. Because I wanted to get this over and out of my life. Let's see how to put this nicely. That's not, in fact, that's not even somebody who's actually teaching and speaking of, faith. That is a sick-minded individual that's using a belief system as a weapon. And even heck, here's another thing too. If anybody happens to remember, let's see. Remember me saying that the minute that you try to force divinity in a certain way and saying it's forced to go in this direction, it says this, it believes this, this is what it does, and this is what it says, and this is what it rules. Like saying this is how it is by, and that's its law. It turns on itself, and it destroys itself because you're restricting it. You cannot restrict divinity. You have to allow it to flow. When you allow it to flow, things work out just fine. But when you say, it won't like you when you do that. Oh, you're going to go to hell for that. God doesn't like that. Well, for one, no. You're now forcing a being to view in a certain way. No, that's not how it works. Divinity knows how to see things and interact with things and how to flow in its natural state. The minute you force it and turn it in a certain way, it wants to kill itself, destroy itself. Hence why, like when a congregation goes, destroys itself or gets corrupt, there it is. That's what happens. And it happens a lot. And then also here's another one too, but I'm not going to pull it up because it's just so hysterical hearing, people push their belief and weaponize it like that. Well, if you're Democratic, then you're a spawn of the devil. Now here's the thing. When somebody calls somebody else a devil worshiper as an insult, with the energy behind it being an insult, or pretty much saying something like that, it's spawn of the devil in a malefic, baneful way. Here's the thing. No. If somebody sees a viewpoint in a certain way, just because it's not the same as you, doesn't mean you get to throw an insult at them like that. Really? That's petty. That's like little kid stuff in the sandbox level. And besides, don't bring in another belief system to insult someone with. Mocking somebody, calling them a devil worshiper in a baneful way, you're now taking another belief system, Satanism, regardless of what kind of branch it is. You're now using that to hit somebody over the head with, and you don't even know if that's their belief system. Because now, say, if you're actually insulting someone like that, and that's their belief system, wow, that's petty and pathetic. And all because they don't believe in the same political viewpoint as you? Oh, wow. You can get out of this church. Oh, good thing. Good thing, because, I was getting kind of annoyed sitting in front of a pew hearing another cray-cray he-hoo fun going mad. Like a mad prophet, for bloody sakes. But anyway. So, the verdict, simple. Hand me, yeah. Okay, so tell him, hand me your he-hoo fun license. Sorry, you didn't make the cut. So, we also have law enforcement officers outside. They kind of want to actually ask you some questions. They want to bring you in for questioning, so have fun. Enjoy your cuffs and your nightstick. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat now. I'm sorry. Okay, here I am. Here I am. Yeah, well, I mean, again, well, Annie, from again, I'm not really familiar with like all your past, but usually it's like the reoccurring. It's like when you're exposed to trauma as like a really young child, sometimes things can get. It becomes like subconscious, like I don't want to say a hindrance, but it's like there. If that makes sense, and it kind of slows and it kind of cripples. If that makes sense, like it becomes. You know what I'm trying to say, like the kind of way I'm going about it. Not saying that it's a something that's a permanent hindrance, but it's something that's there that can potentially cause harm in the long run. Trying to find the right words to put it. And my opinion of Yeshua, well, I mean, I'm going to be honest. For Yeshua, well, to be completely honest, human being, and I have to say, with Adam and Eve, every human being born is infected with that sin virus. They are. If Yeshua existed, he was a human being. He's infected with sin. And if there's pushback with that, well, that's genetics. You argue with genetics, well, you're now pushing back against science because of a mother's afflicted with a disease and is in the bloodstream. The child gets afflicted with it too. And let's see. Yeah. I have something in my eye. The joy of having long eyelashes. Sometimes you're like, hey, I'm going to just poke you in the eye for whatever reason. Do spirits ever appear to me physically manifested? Yeah, she's a journalist. Am I right? Trying to remember. I believe she is. Yeah, a journalist. Um, physically manifested now. By physically manifested, intangible. Well, that is hard to say because a physical manifestation of a spirit makes them tangible. Spirits are astral beings that you can interact, that you have potential to have the senses respond to them, like the sight, hear, taste, I know, smell, and like you can feel like also touches too, but also the intuitive instinct, like something's watching me, for an example. That, in a way, is. But that's like the closest to like a manifestation that I can kind of bring it to that level. If that makes sense. Because in order to have like a physical manifestation be detected, you need to have one of the senses be attuned to it. So like if you're just sitting minding your business and you feel something, just go. If you feel it, or if you hear it, you smell it, you taste it, you see it, or if you just have this feeling of like something's watching me, that is a physical manifestation because one of your senses is detecting it. And there are some people that have a lot more detection in being able to see or have the senses react to it, but it's person to person to person. So it's completely different for each individual. Because for me, I mean, there's been numerous times where there have been some beings that just come through and just speak. Yes. I wouldn't say speak. It's just I just come in and just tell people, here's how it is, Lovey. You don't like it? Oh. And I thought Adam was a wuss. You, Adam. Not you. You know, the one that I took out. Yeah, that big mistake. Well, the membership goes a little bit like so. Let me pull it up in front of me. So that way I don't that way I don't click on too many things and slow this stream down longer. 50,000 years later. So here we go. We have over here. So first and foremost, oh, okay, never mind. That cake was a lie. So for the membership that Annie's talking about, here's the dean's list of things you get, and this is subject to change. Subject to change at any given time. Things might be added, things might be taken away. But the thing is, like for Annie, for example, first and foremost, loyalty badges. You'll be getting one that's a red moon with a snake eye in it, and Annie actually is flaunting and displaying it. I've actually been thinking about having other badges, but the thing is that they're so picky. Like, it's not the right size ratio. Just take it. Don't be a size queen. Member shoutouts, and now by member shoutouts, pretty much it's just like every time I start a live stream or anything of the sorts or video, I pretty much do acknowledge everybody that does contribute. Exclusive member only content, which is, believe it or not, I do have one video that was actually put up 11 months ago, which was Necromancy 1.1 and Necromancy 1.2, introduction on what necromancy is and what it's not. It is a 12-minute video, and it's actually giving the foundations to necromancy, like legit necromancy, the real kind. Not this fantasy woozy woo thing like, oh, I'm raising the dead, woo. None of that crap. No, that's not necromancy. That's Hollywood BS. That's not what my necromancy teaching is about. To give an idea, the necromancy techniques and how I teach you in that is about how you approach the dead, interact with the dead, how you have graveyard etiquette, which is vital, and how you respect the dead, and how you pretty much work with the dead in a respectful manner, and how you caretake to a passed on when you're working with or finished working with. It's more intensive than simply just going through a back door and raising the dead on your own free will. No. Yes, Annie? I don't get broken. What is it you'd like to converse with me? As in a choice of which one is more important or which one is superior? Always truth. Because without truth, I have no direction to go. Because I can have all the dominion over truth. Without truth, I'm directionless. If I don't have any direction, I'm useless. If I'm not a route that's the if I'm going down a route that's a lie, the efforts I put are meaningless. If I have truth and clear direction, I have motivation. When I have motivation, I don't stop. But when I'm going in blindly without it, I have no idea when to stop. I don't know if I have made my destination, and I don't know if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and exerting correctly. Without truth, I'm blind. With truth, I see perfectly clear. Because there could be me in control and being able to push in any direction and being able to push in any direction, but who knows? Every direction may be the worst move. That's why I need truth to know when to go. Because if I just go, it may be the wrong way. You'd probably want. You would probably have to ask truth instead. Because I'm like the inward flame that burns. And just like how fire is, if mishandled and not given direction, fire can be the most warming, the most life-giving, and give life, give light, guide. But if it's mishandled, it can cause destruction, kill, and eradicate. Ugh. Ugh. So yeah, there you go. There was a mind journey. Not just the thing. I have just the thing. Not me. Let's try this again. I'm gonna restart that just to make sure that was correct. Please hold. Okay, we're good. So here to go. We're gonna go loading. Back we go over this way. Then we're gonna tell that to go and stick it. And then do back we go. Okay, so okay, there's that. And now we're gonna go this way. Oh, beautiful. This is a perfect timing because I'm gonna send you this thing called a yantra, and this yantra is actually related to your Atmakarka. And the Atmakarka is actually your soul significator. And whenever you have the yantra of the Atmakarka, the planet with the highest degree, that's playing a part of your personality and your life's, goal to accomplish. When you look at this yantra, you actually be empowered. Okay, here we go. So, this. For answering any, I would be much more comfortable to respond just between you and me because I don't want this at all to come back towards you. If that makes if you're knowing where I'm coming from, because I don't want anything to happen to you. I don't want anything to come back towards you, and I do because how you've been taking initiative and standing up for me. Well, now the same thing for me. It's just like okay. Now that part of me is just like, oh, okay, well, kid, guess what you're doing? You're now going to stick up and stand for her. She gave it to you, now I got to give it back. Okay. Now, the thing I sent you, get out of the way, little battery. Pretty much all you have to do is stare in the center of it and just stare. Again, I would much rather just message you instead because for me, I feel it's more, well, for one, professional, two, that's like a personal thing, and I don't want to bring something that is really close and good. That's one of the things that you can actually that can help you with the confusion. Oh, and by the way, so that way you know, the Atmakarka planet that you have is the same as mine. It's Venus. Shukracharya. Mm-hmm. Your soul significator is Venus, like mine. And I'm going to send you another thing that I listen to a lot. And it's actually, besides loading, is this. Where? There we go. This thing, this audio recording, I mean, I can't even describe it. It's like, how do I put this? It's better than sliced bread. I know that sounds so basic, but I'm not even kidding. Wow. I was not intending for that to play, but I mean, after just hearing that, I felt the jolt a little. And it's also Venus Sora too, meaning that it's the planetary hour of Venus. So that means anything Venetian related, including but not limited to beauty, bringing somebody out of death, healing, teaching in a way that is indiscriminate, meaning that one is teaching in a way that doesn't judge, or one teaches with an acceptance of regardless of however the student's standing, because that's Shukra. Venus is a guru that doesn't judge. If somebody comes to Venus and says, "Can you teach me this?" Venus will always say, "Yeah, let's do it." Even if they have like a learning impairment and it takes them years to finally understand it, Venus will still be there. Be patient enough and figure out a way for them to get it until they get it. Meanwhile, Jupiter, Barispati, oh boy, if you won't understand it, he won't even bother. If the astrology placements don't line up with it, nope. He won't take that person as a student. Venus, come over here. Let's teach. Now you kind of see why, for me, I prefer Shukra as the guru figure for me, in my opinion. Goody. And also, Venus, just true element, is water. And with Venus, in Venus time period in somebody's life, Venus will actually make you cry. Because crying with Venus, when you're at the highest point, when you're doing like sadhana or devotional to a deity or a divine being, when you're in that state, you have tears flow naturally. It just happens. That's also Venus. That's devotion. See, because there's actually a part where, whoops, wrong button. See, do I have it on my phone? I hope I do. If I don't, I'm going to cry crocodile tears in front of a live studio audience. That's the wrong thing. Let's try this one. Okay, there's that. We are looking for critical fail, and it's not there. Nope. Just whiff it. Okay, if I go wrong way. Oh, why do we even have that lever? Get out of my way. Hey, Azrael. Good. Ooh. Scorpio, Aries, Scorpio. Oh, you have a Motragone Venus. Love it. So a Scorpio Sun, Aries Moon, and a Scorpio Ascendant. Then Azrael? Azariah? Is that how you say it? I'm trying to make sure I can pronounce it correctly. If I have to twist my tongue in directions like, yeah. Get goody. Whoops. Nope. Wrong button. Just whiffing. And also another thing that I also learned recently too. Okay, come on, cupcake. There you go. Did you happen to know the sign of Scorpio is actually the sign where Venus was born in, or born from? Probably thinking, how? Lord Shiva, when taking in the, how do I put this? The avatar of Kritika. As the avatar of Kritika, he actually took Shukracharya, consumed him, put him in his stomach. So Shukracharya was actually in a state of like being frozen in time. And when Lord Shiva left that avatar of Kritika back to his regular form, Shukra was still within him. When Lord Shiva and his wife Parvati, when they had their, the moment when the happened, I'm just putting that in a nice G-rated way. As soon as happened, Shukracharya came from Shiva. And what sign is all about the nasty? Scorpio. That's why also Venus is associated with Tantra. Well, I can't deny it, but I mean, for me, the ultimate thing is that I'm keeping my mentor spirit alive. That's number one. Me? Well, the other thing is, I can never call myself a guru figure. I can't do it. Both for reasons like, well, for one, how's being an author treating you? Yeah, I have 2 books so far. Let me see if I can grab them. Hold that note. Oh, but yes, I've mainly got into all this because of my mentor Russell, and I'm just trying to keep his spirit alive. Because without him, I wouldn't even be here, and I wouldn't be doing Joe Tissue Astrology in the first place. So, but here's the thing too. My mentor was also a Scorpio. He was a Scorpio Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, and I think that was it. Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury. All in Scorpio. I can't remember what his ascendant was, but the 2 luminaries, Buddha, Mercury, and Shukra. Those 4 planets in Scorpio. And my Venus is Scorpio too, on the western side. And fine, yes, the little shithead Pluto's with mine too. My mentor is actually Russell Nemitz. Yeah, it's a 4 planetary conjunction, but 2 of the luminaries in Scorpio, Surya and Chandra. Yeah, that's pretty potent. Then you have Mercury involved, and also Shukra. But now here's the thing. Whichever planet's the lowest degree has the most say. His planet with the lowest degree, I believe it was Mercury. I believe it was Mercury. Yes, it was Mercury. It went Mercury, Venus, Moon, and Sun in the back, which is actually the best way of having it be lined up because you have two of the most changeable planets, Mercury and Moon, at the bottom. Then you have Venus behind. And then you have the king in the back, the sun. So you have Mercury having the final say, but then you're going up into Moon, influencing Mercury. Then you have Shukra influencing Moon, which makes pretty much Moon become a mimic of all the other planets. Same with Mercury. And then you have Sun influencing Venus at the same time. So all of that, yeah. So do I, Annie. I also have Pluto Scorpio, or as I like to call Pluto, the little shithead. Literally, he's a little shithead. Meaning, whenever you have Pluto with another planet, regardless of what planet it is, you get something like this. You have Pluto being all, like, I'll put myself as an example. Me having Venus in Scorpio. Hey, Venus. Oh, hi, Pluto. What do you want, little one? You know, I think it'd be a nice hoochie mama like you. No, Pluto, don't try. What are you doing? Did you just... Why... What happened to your face, dude? Oh, I just took all your makeup and put it all on my face. Okay. Are you wearing my new shoes? Yeah. I'm sorry that I walked in the mud with them. Oh, damn you, Pluto. So Pluto, sitting with another planet makes that planet significance get overkilled. Because now the planet is agitated because it has to deal with a little runt. And just like how a young toddler is, in all due honesty, they aren't aware of what they're doing, but they go all in. And when they get hurt, it's like, say Pluto got hurt, and it's just like, oh God, the world just exploded. So the planet that's with Pluto gets agitated and has to put up with it. So it gets overkilled. It's not bad or good, it's just really how it is, at least how I see it. Yeah, this is my other one. And I know you can't, here, let me see if I can turn the brightness up. Maybe you can be able to see the cover a little bit better. And there's the other one. Let's see if I can do this. Where'd it go? Scoochie the Tushy. Where? There you go. Oh. E. Okay, I'm gonna see if I'm more visible. Okay. Oh yeah, now you can really see it. Oh gosh, that's way too bright. Oh lordy, but still. Yeah, well. Yeah, there's the cover. Actually, the cover is actually. Let's see if I can. Yes, she's actually the one that stopped me from suicide. Believe it or not. Just being able to try and get it to be able to, so that way you can see, like the. This is so stupid because I'm trying to see myself in this thing, but I can't because, well, there we go. Like if you see how there's the face that's like on this side, and how it's completely different on the one that's on that side. Well, on this side, yep, that's actually me on that side, and that's Hell on the other. And yeah, and this book's actually it does actually have my retelling of the encounter that I had with her, the first time. And yeah, it's pretty dark, it's pretty intense, and it's tragic, but it's what happened. And there's some examples of my altar spaces. There was the first one I've ever done right there. There's another one over there, and then there's the one where it's actually how it looks today, right there. That's good in this. Oh, yep, and I also have in here the when visiting deceased sites when you're going to bond with her. Yep, it's all outlined, and her harsh reality checks, all 13 of them. And there's also her understanding her character and ethics. And then there's the telling of how, the preface, and I believe the table of, oh yeah, there you go. There's the table of contents and a photo of her photobombing me before. Yeah, she photobombed me in that picture, and I think you can tell. Because when I took that picture, there's no way that picture could have come out the way it did, perfectly split down the middle like that. Because if it just happened to land like that, I wasn't intending to, but still. Up, and there's the title page. Did I also put in that picture of her on the wall? I don't think I did. I mean, on the door, not the wall. There's that one of me again. No, I don't think I did put in this one. Oh yeah, and it also has this at the end. The self-reflective exercise after the retelling of my story of first interacting with her. It's actually helping you face or combat anything that you are having trouble dealing with and facing. Like it gives you prompts like, what is the situation or circumstance that's hindering you? Describe the incident and what you witnessed or endured, like vast detail, exactly how it was. Then as did you contribute to it? And how do you feel and what is your viewpoint on how it affected you? Who is at fault? And if there's another party involved, what do you have to say to them? And do you hold them accountable for the event? And you write exactly how you feel. Either way, however you answer, it's valid. And you are correct. Because how you feel is always valid. Yeah, it's more than just like how the Lilith book is, and this is actually getting revamped. It's getting revamped. This would be like actually people were actually saying, how come there's no like spells or rituals with this one? Or actually either one of them for that matter. How come there's no spells or magical incantations or like rituals in them? Because I'm focusing more on teaching how to connect with the goddess figure that I'm writing about. First, having that connection be strong before having them, participate in any magical workings. Because if you have whenever you do a magical working, if you have a strong connection, the divine being will just come on their own and assist. You won't even have to go towards them. They'll just come in and help anyway. So yeah, this one's going to get revamped. And Lilith, I'm also going to be adding my artworks in it, especially this one, my first one, The Emergence of the Shadow Mistress. Yep. This one's going to be in the book. So yeah, be on the look for that one when I get to it. Oh, I'm getting old. I'm going to be 30 this year. And some people think, really? You're going to be 30? Mm-hmm. Well, some people be like, should you be in high school? No. Flatter, no. And actually, to be completely honest, despite popular opinion and how everybody's going to look at me weird, if I could, I would be more than happy to go back to high school and relive that. Especially my junior year. Specifically when it was the start of 2010. Oh man, I would relive that over and over again, and I would not I would act completely different than I did before. And I would pretty much be how I am now, at least involved in a connection, I would be acting how I should have been acting back then, and be right the first time if I had the chance. But like that's not possible. So we're gonna just stick with what we got. Jim. Okay. And there was something else I was trying to find. Let me just play Dig Dug to find it. Okay, we don't have that. I gotta play Dig Dug to find one thing. Oh. Okay, that's that. I'm trying to find the thing about Venus. Looks like I'm going to play Dig Dug with it. Okay, back we go then. They up again. Boy, I'm having hot flashes. What? We get them too, okay? I found Saturn's, but I need to find where Venus's went. Else I'm going to download that thing again when I have time to. Time just got twisted. Yeah, back. Okay, hello, Kayla. Nice to see you. Okay, now I'm going to scroll all the way back up because I probably ignored the chat again. I'm sorry. I tend to. I do that too much. I've told him not to do that again. Okay. How'd you find my mentor? Okay, well, yeah, well, my mentor, believe it or not, actually came to me all by himself. I never asked him. Like, he what ended up happening is that I joined a yeah, hello. I joined a online Facebook group, and he was in there, and I was posting a few times about some things that I was just having questions about because I was just self-taught at the time, and I was just going through all over the place, just learning trial and error. And what he told me, and yes, Annie, he was actually a devotee of Apollo. What he told me was Apollo told me that help him, go and help him, and that's just what he did. And he pretty much messaged me every day, talked to me every day, checked in on me every day up until he passed. And I am harsh on myself about not appreciating him when he was alive. Yeah, I pretty much am about it to myself. Because if I could go back, if I could go back, I would just be all, come on, kid. You have time to spend with your guru now. I don't care if you don't want to go and talk to him. You're going to do it. You don't want to? That's cute. Let's go. Yeah. Not having it. Save. Loading. Loading. Please don't be going bang bang at night. Don't shoot guns out of this. What? Got him. Turn the brightness down. Oh, my phone's at 1%. Represent. That's not good. 1% represent. Drive like a strafe. Damn it, Donovan. I'm walking through a effing fountain right now. Well, for me, the way I look at it is like I said earlier, I can't call myself a guru because, for one, I'm just who I am. And two, if I was to do that, I'm not one. But if someone else calls me it, it's different. And the term guru, it's all right. It's all good. Anyway, I have an idea of what you were saying, but whenever somebody else calls me it, the term guru doesn't come from the self. It comes from those that you are giving material to and guiding and teaching. They call you it. You don't call yourself it because you can't guide yourself. Okay, myself, this is what you got to do. You got to get on your hands and knees and, clean the floor with your toothbrush every morning. Don't whip a spot. You whip a spot, no, do it again. No. Because as far as we know, you can guide yourself off a cliff. When you have a guru figure and you're addressing them as the guru figure guiding you, they guide you the route to go. You can't guide yourself because you'd be thinking, so me, which way do we go? Good question. I have no idea. But I'm going to turn that off so that way there's some more visibility. Hopefully it'll pick up. I'm going to go like that. So that's him. And when I met him, he was actually on a nasal cannula, I believe. And I mean, yeah, that was like when, because he passed away to AIDS and HIV. And the reason why he passed to it, because he was getting treatment and care for it, but because of a certain pharma bro, he couldn't afford the medication. And because of that, he died from it. The pharma bro indirectly killed him. That's why I have an intense despise and just towards him. Not my mentor, the guy who made the treatment for that affliction, the price to make the pill go from a few dollars to about an 800% increase. Sorry. That guy can pretty much be put into solitary confinement, held upside down, and getting slapped across the face every hour. Don't care. That guy deserves the worst. Not to be nice. Not being nice at all. Because the thing is, if somebody's knowingly jacking the price of something that's saving the lives of countless people and helping countless people, jacking up the price, knowing that you can just do that to make your pockets bigger and taking lives of other people, no, I'm sorry. That isn't, no, profit can't justify that. In fact, I kind of see that as, what's that called? Indirectly manslaughter. And each person that died because of that price increase is a count. Each one. So that's quite a lot of instances of manslaughter. That's quite a lot of them. So, sorry, Farmer Bro. Timber faceplant. Huh. Annie, you have Jeshta as your ascendant. And you also have a very potent, if not the most powerful Venus placement possible. Yes, Annie, you have the most powerful Venus you can even get. It doesn't get much stronger than how you have her. Exaltation in the 4th house of where she gets Digbala. Meaning, Venus in Pisces. Well, you have the lover being intoxicated. When you're intoxicated with love, you're unstoppable. Turn that on. Because when there's love and you're intoxicated by it, you cannot be stopped. You can't. That feeling makes you immortal. Something gets in your way and it's negative trying to bring you down, slides right off. Doesn't even affect you because you're just so immersed within the emotion towards the loved one that it just, everything negative just bounces right off. Doesn't affect you. That's Venus in Pisces. But now with Digbala. Digbala in astrology is defined as essentially when you have a planet in a certain house, meaning in the Lagna, the 4th, 7th, or 10th. Those are the 4 directions. Sun rises from the east, that's the 10th house. Then you have, sun rises from the east, that's the ascendant. East is the Lagna. Then you have, sun rises from the east, that's the ascendant. East is the Lagna, which I'm pointing that way. That's the east. North. Excuse me. Don't know why I was getting hiccups all of a sudden. Okay, so that's the ascendant that way. North, that's the 4th house. 7th house, which is the west. That's your 7th. Then the 10th, which is south. But when sun is going down on the west, that's where he loses his direction. And also in the 4th house, because the king, well, when you put the king in the 10th house where everybody can see him, Big Brother's watching, he has Digbala. When you have Moon in the 4th house, you're putting Moon, the mother, queen, in the home. You're putting the queen in her environment, where she's like, I know what to do. This is my place to be relaxed, enjoy it, and enjoy the conveniences. And cook, clean, be a mother. Directional strength. And also, that's the house of mother. You're probably thinking, but what about Venus? Why does Venus get Digbala in the 4th? Simple. Where do you actually feel and give most of your love in? It's at the home. Where you're in a place where it's serene, comfortable, pleasant, and you're actually with your significant other or loved one, and you can just be in peace and actually have that companionship and interactions of romance. But also Venus, again, is spiritual sadhana or spiritual practice. And Venus wants to devote to something higher, divinity. Can you do divinity, acknowledgement in your sadhana in the head? You can, but the thing is that if the ascendant in the physical body isn't strong enough, doesn't have the will to, it won't. Can you do your spiritual sadhana in the marketplace and rely on other people for it? No. You can't be doing your spiritual practice in the marketplace where there's people going back and forth and it's buzzing and interrupting you. Can you do your spiritual practice and your sadhana in the 10th house where everybody can see it? and everybody is seeing, and pretty much it's essentially the place of power and also work and how society is seeing you and judging you. Can you do it there? Mm-mm. So there's only one place you can do it perfectly. It's in the home, where you're secure, where it's quiet. You can dress in more comfortable clothing. You can relax, be in a convenient environment, and have your comforts be given to you. That's when you're able to devote without any flaws. So now Venus in Pisces, being intoxicated by love in the place where you're comfortable. Essentially, the expression of love and don't knock on my window, please. Don't do that. Please don't. I don't want to get up. I'm tired. I really don't want to stand up and chase after you like I'm just a be profane girl. Please don't. Don't do that. I don't want to. I don't want to get up and chase after you. Please don't. When I say I don't, meaning that I don't want to because I have better things I need to be doing, and not waste time and their time calling you out. But if I have to give the message, I will. So, Cupcake, what's your choice? You're going to piss it and stick it, or you're going to keep being a nuisance and keep tapping the window? Sorry. That tends to happen sometimes. But now you have Venus, and also Venus does also bring back the dead. So where are you able to uplift someone in their home when they're convenient, when they're in a place of comfort? You can bring somebody out of their state of depression when they're comfortable, convenient, when they have their security given. That's Venus. Venus can bring the dead out, bring them back to life. Jupiter can't do that. But Venus can go. Jupiter cannot do that. And again, I'm sorry I neglected the chat. Oh, hello, Melanie. Nice to have you on. From the UK? What part? What part of the UK? And now look at the chat again. I'm sorry. And thank you for being a member, Bellamy. I will send you a. Yeah, let me send you. Please hold while I process your request. Hold on. Listen. Get away from the window. Sorry. It's just I kind of get a little bit annoyed when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be annoying and tap the window," regardless if it's a human being or a spirit. I'm just like, no. I saw that. Like I saw. I just saw something flip by, and I'm like, oh, that's like I saw that. So let's see. What am I doing? Okay. I'm going to send to you. Where'd it go? I just had it. Well, if I use my head. I'm going to send. Hold on. We're getting there eventually. So just choose a Twix bar while you're at it. And just click here. Okay, where is it? Okay, we're gonna go right here. Hopefully this thing will be smart, which sometimes is not. But what can you do? Okay, we're gonna click there. Have it go. We're good? Okay, splendid. Not that one, you dimwit. Okay. If you go to this link, so Melami Rose, if you go to that link, fill out the, hold on, let me pull it up in front of my face again. Yeah, if you follow that link, you should see something that says like name, email address, phone number, and message. Send me an email through that, and I'll reply to you with. There should be. I just had it. Oh, wait. Here we go. Never mind. Gotta use my head again. I feel like the Energizer Bunny that's been beheaded. He's still going. Okay, we're gonna go over this way. We're gonna tell that to get out of the way. Yeah. If you send me either an email or using that form, it'll send me a message in my email, and I'll actually send you your 25% off code for anything that's in my Teespring store and then does not expire. Anything that's in that Teespring store, 25% off. And it's permanent for good. So yeah, let me know or send me that email when you deem fit so I can give you that, because that's one of the promise perks. That sounded weird. Promise perk. Perky Dersh. I don't know. I just work here. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of my life. No, you have this. Come on, computer. Can we scroll down the right way instead of the left way? Thank you. I hate this stupid thing. Your connection's unstable. No, it's not. And I'm going to scroll back up here. Okay, now I'm going to go and read all of this these messages that I probably whiffed. So I'm working my Cupcake. I didn't tell you to do that. The Scoochie Tushy, get out of the way. Let's see. Okay, found mentor. Yeah, Russell. Okay, doing it right. Need mine. See. Very lucky to have a mentor like that. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's true, because if it wasn't for him, I'd still probably be in depression. And actually, he helped me better understand my significant other too. Actually, he helped a lot. Seen a guy called Nikado Avocado. I have no idea. I have no idea who that is. Actually, here, hold my wine glass. I'm curious. Is it? Oh, him. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. Let me just scooch back. That's no way for somebody to live like that. Just because a lot of people just want to be all like, oh, we enjoy watching you eat and we enjoy doing this to you. When you allow a community of people to do that and possess you like that, and then be entertained for you to go through a bad and taxing way that you can harm yourself with that lifestyle and hurt your health like that, that's not good. Nobody should ever push somebody to that extreme. And me, no. Because the thing is, if somebody's going to have money be able to push them to live like that and have something have to be attached to them, in order to live? No. That's not living. That's not enjoyment. It's not. Go back. There we go. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see, Annie, because the astrology app that I looked to find that Yandra does not have Black Moon Lilith in it. Now, Balami, what is your Lilith placement? That's another thing too. When you're, hold on, I gotta make a little fine tweak with this. Whenever you're also a member of the channel too, you're always given priority for me responding and paying attention to. But I mean, I still, respond when I'm able to. So let's see, where are you? Down in the middle, right there. Okay, we have Escuchi the Tushi. Never mind. The cake was a lie. That was the wrong. I have so many charts here. It's crazy. Okay, let's try this one more time. Yes, you have Black Moon Lilith in the 4th house with Venus. And your moon is in Capricorn, specifically in the degree of Dhaneshta. And so Black Moon Lilith takes those qualities of the Capricorn Dhaneshta as well. And you also have, but now here's the thing, you have Mars in Cancer, but here's the thing with Mars in Cancer. Even though he's pissed off in Cancer, since he's retrograde, he's actually acting as if he's exalted. That's what happens. But what does Mars in Cancer mean? Okay. But look at it this way. Mars in Cancer is a little like this. You're taking a guy from 300. Yep. Shield, spear, mankini, and helmet and all. Yep. Even meeting the Spartans kind of a thing. You're taking him, now you're putting him in a kitchen. You're taking his spear, his shield, his helmet away. And now you're saying, here, put on this cute little apron. Then he has a chef hat put on top of his head. A rolling pin and a cookie sheet. And now all the housewives join hand in hand, making a big circle, and they skip in a circle, saying, hey, brother, pour the wine. And they just keep skipping around him, and they just keep singing that. Mars is sitting there just all, yeah, agitated. So Mars gets pissed off. But here's the thing. Mars in Cancer makes a good butcher, a good chef. But the thing you have to be extremely careful of, if you go after a Mars in Cancer's closest dear ones, family, or anything like that, they will rip you to shreds mentally and emotionally, and they will be relentless about it. Like they'll say something that hits you right in the deep emotions, so with such intensity that it can scar someone emotionally. Because Mars is overkill. Because he's frustrated. And I also have that I have that placement in my chart too, because my Mars is Cancer but direct. And whenever my significant other was in a bad spot, I've blocked out too many times. Yeah, people undermine Venus. Lilith first house in Capricorn. Hey. But now here's the thing. Belami, having Black Moon Lilith in the 1st house. Black Moon Lilith gets Digbala, directional strength in the 1st house. What does that mean? Simple. You're taking a divine being, pretty much Lilith herself. You're taking her, you're putting her in the human body, which is the ascendant. You're giving a divine being a human body to work and exist in. They want that. So now Lilith is like, oh, I'm not bound by this ether level. Now I'm actually tangible. Good. Let's go have some fun. So, with that in mind, Black Moon Lilith and the Ascendant. First off, you may actually be more drawn to wearing darker colors, even wear more colors that are more in the darker purples, reds, or even have a attire setup that makes you appear a bit more, like you get more attention. And naturally, just you existing, there's something about your aura that has people just get drawn towards you, meaning you exist, people just come towards you. And they're thinking, why am I coming towards you? Yeah, but that happens. When you have Black Moon Lilith in the first, people just come towards you and they're thinking, I don't know why I'm coming towards you and I'm attracted to you, but I can't explain it. And then you're thinking, I can't understand why either. I don't know why people keep walking towards me. Do you not know what personal space is? Because I have Black Moon Lilith in my first house in Aquarius. Yeah, imagine that one. And also your sense of self-empowerment too, because that's Black Moon Lilith. The empowerment comes in from the self. One's empowerment is the self. And when Lilith is saying, being in the first house, she's looking at it like, my empowerment comes from myself. Duh. You don't say, really. I could never have figured that out. Of course it does. That's why she gets directional strength. Her empowerment comes from her, and she relies on herself for it. Nowhere else. And the way in the first house of Black Moon Lilith gets revenge is a good one. Essentially, what one does is they build themselves up higher and they improve themselves to a higher standing. And once they get to that point, they then turn around and actually pretty much put down those that are trying to knock them down and saying, well, look at you down there. It must suck being a peasant. It must be just so bad. Oh well, while you're down there, shine my shoe, would you? Thanks, love. You call it a shoe sign? Do it again. Clean my foot. Make sure there's not a speck of dirt on it. That kind of a tone. Because when somebody is swinging at you and you're standing, they're trying to knock you down. But when you build yourself higher than them, they can't even knock you down. That was Leo's sun in the 8th house, Motricona's sun. In the 8th house, essentially you have the king being like, hey, check me out. Oh wait, I'm in Leo. I own this place. In the 8th house? Oh, there's no secrets here. The code? Oh, I already know what's in here. But with also, are there any planets with Lilith? Because if there's other planets with Lilith, it can change the whole thing. Especially if it's moon. If it's moon, there's something much more that happens. Or is moon looking anywhere where Black Moon Lilith's at, like in the 7th house, or conjunct moon? Oh. Well, essentially, whenever Black Moon Lilith is conjunct another planet besides the moon and her two other friends, Venus and Saturn, 9th, that would mean she's in Virgo then, right? Moon, Virgo moon? Yeah. Yeah, that'd be Capricorn. Yeah. That would be Taurus is the 5th, and then 9th is Virgo. And Saturn is your lucky planet. Because just having a Capricorn ascendant or Aquarius ascendant. Anyway, having Capricorn ascendant or Aquarius ascendant, Venus becomes your lucky planet, your Yogacaraka. Fun fact. So Venus is your lucky planet. Because she's actually in a placement where she's like, I own one of the 1, 4, 7, 10 or 1, 5, 9. Lucky planet. So, Black Moon Lilith sitting with Uranus and Neptune. Well, if she's conjunct any other planet besides Venus, Moon, and Saturn, but especially Moon, she doesn't play by the rules, for one. Lilith does not play by the rules. She's sitting with a planet, she goes, oh, okay. So that's what you do, huh? No, you're going to sit, you're not going to do a thing until I get what I want, and I get my empowerment first. You want to have your uniqueness. You want to have your innovation. You want to be the most unique thing out there. Nope, sorry. I need to have my cake first. I need to be empowered first. Then you can be unique. Then Neptune. Oh, well, look at you. Aren't you just a little lost and drunk? Sit. Oh, you want to have your fantasy? You want to have your daydreaming? You want to have your fantasy woozy woo? No. I want my empowerment first. Then you can have your woozy imagination things and real and seduction, because Black Moon Love is the actual natural seduction. You want to have your kind of seduction? No, mine first. And as soon as the empowerment comes, then the other planets can come through. But until then, she holds them like hostage. Like, you're not doing anything until I get what I want first. Mm-hmm. So in your case, Annie, we have Black Moon Lilith in the fourth house in Pisces. Let me see the degree for her. She is in the degree of 1054. That is Purva Padaba, meaning it is the degrees of symbolically showing either a double-edged blade, essentially a double-edged sword, or a man with split faces, meaning that there's one way, one going the other. Now, this doesn't mean that, Lilith is going to be a two-faced with you. No, that's just the symbol. So, essentially, this is how it would be. And also keep in mind, Venus is also there too. So, since you have Venus with Digbala and Exalted, and Lilith is sitting with her, and also, yes, there's actually some more things I'm adding into it because there's more. Because since you have Jupiter in a yoga, and actually what's called, I'm going to butcher the name, but I'm going to try it. Hold my wine glass. A Pravyantan yoga, meaning that you have two planets that are exchanging signs. So they're actually acting as if they're in their own sign, so they get more powerful. But Venus is already exalted, and now Motrikona in behavior, because Jupiter is in her sign and Venus is in Jupiter's sign. Virgo Mercury, another exalted, and you have an exalted Mercury. Motrikona Sun, Digbala Lilith, Digbala Lilith, Motrikona Sun, exalted Mercury. Wow. But a Pravyatin yoga meaning is that they're exchanging each other's signs. So they're acting as if they're in their own signs. They're behaving as if like, okay, I own this place. But Venus is exalted. When you have an exalted planet acting in Motrikona, Mercury is pretty much the only natural planet that does that. I'm exalted in my own sign. I'm Motrikona and exalted. Yeah. But your Venus is doing that same thing too. So, and also with Digbala. So Black Moon Lilith sitting with an exalted Venus, with Digbala acting Motrikona in the fourth house. And Moon is in Capricorn in Dhaneshta, which Mars has some say with Dhaneshta because he owns that lunary mansion or nakshatra. So Moon is getting them Martian support, and Moon is looking at Mars. Mars is actually looking towards Moon, where she's in Capricorn exalted. Well, that's his exaltation point in Capricorn. But Moon's looking back at Mars saying, hey, Mars, can you be careful over there? Because that's my house. Don't mess it up, dude. So Moon is actually protecting her house of Cancer, even though her Motrikone's Taurus. she's looking at her own sign and saying, Mars, don't you do it. Fine, woman. So he doesn't break anything. He's still agitated, but he doesn't, table flip as hard. So altogether, Black Moon Lilith in the 4th house shows that the empowerment comes from one's ability to express themselves in a creative way that does not have any limitations to it, is able to be free-flowing. And one's way of doing, and one gets vengeance, by expressing their artistic side in a way that is vastless, meaning that there's no end to it, because that's Pisces, the infinite ocean. Venus's creativity and arts. But Digbala, the comfort, has the creative self-expression go and be limitless. One gets revenge by limitless expression that can't be explained. It can only be felt. And poetry is the best way to express it. Or even songs is another way to express it. And because since Venus also is the one that resurrects the dead, one's empowerment comes by resurrecting one's sense of security and creativity and convenience and emotional health. But also with the revenge part. One gets revenge by actually using the vast amount of spiritual ability, by actually using that as a way to attack on the spiritual side. Because that's Pisces. Black Moon Lilith gets revenge by intoxication, or pretty much putting in a spiritual attack on the spiritual side. Or one may even use a form of intoxication, deception, or even just like getting someone like, huh? I'm lost, aloof. I don't know what's going on. Might even use something like that to get vengeance. And Black Moon Lilith, placed in the 4th, is one of the houses, is one of the biggest likely approvals from Lilith herself being, I'm going to work with this one. It's one of them. The other houses are 1. Actually, the houses are 1, 4, 8th, 10th, and 12th. Those are the houses. Like letting karma or okay, now here's the thing for me, when I think of karma, sometimes if someone feels that there has to be action be taken to even this, like, settle the score, you are becoming their karmic backlash. You are the karmic. You are the karma repercussion. If someone takes a swing at you, and if you feel it's just a swing back to teach them a lesson, you're the karma that's how karma can be. You slap someone, the karmic backlash for that person that slapped another person, that same person comes and backhands them back. That's their karmic repercussion for striking in the first place. That person who struck back is the one enforcing the karma upside their head. Mm-hmm. But when vengeance happens, that's the potential way of it happening. I just love when things like that happen. Here, hold my wine glass. Actually, before I share this one, I'm going to go grab my Red Bull from the fridge. So please hold. I'll be back in a moment. What? Fine, I admit it, I'm a size queen, so what? Don't be hating. Bigger's better. Yeah, I'm the same way. But yeah. Say some stuff. Oh. Oh. Okay, now back we go. Hurry up again. Oh. I think I should make like a group chat, like on Facebook or just like another medium like Clubhouse or something like that. That way, all the members are together. Oh, by the way, when you said necklace with Lola's symbol on it, what did you look at that? What a coinky dink, don't you think? That's it. Very interesting. Very interesting. That happens. I hope it's in frame. If it's not in frame, I'm gonna look like a dimwit the whole time. There you go. Just whiff it. Okay, good. But yes, there's that one. Yeah, this thing. Actually, this is actually an orgonite or something like that. And it was actually made by someone. What's her name from the UK? Crap, I'm trying to remember her name. ESET. I believe that's her name. I could be wrong. Lovely lady. Very, 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 very intelligent. I could talk to her for hours, and she actually has invested alongside King Asmodeus. You know, the king that has dominion over the gambling halls, and the one that when you play blackjack with, if you're busted, it goes, "Ha, you busted." I mean, I love playing blackjack with them, honestly. Fine. Sometimes I purposely go over 21 so that way I can just hear him go, "Ha ha, you busted." Well, what would you do if you got a good laugh? When something like that happens, it's pleasurable. Okay, it's good to always laugh. Makes you live a few seconds longer. And she also works with Marquise Andres. And if you're familiar with the divines of the Goetia, I call them divines because they are. He who funds going to tell me otherwise. Marquise Andres is actually known to be probably stereotypically known as one of the most dreadful, destructive, and most mortifying goetic divines that are known. Stop tapping at the window. Do you want me to fist you? Trust me, you're not going to like it. Do you want me to fist you? You're not going to like it. I'm going to give you a count to piss it to go. 1, 2, 2.5. Piss it. Every time. Anyway, actually, I'm going to grab. I'm thinking about it. Oh, there's another goodie. So that way you have an idea of what Marquise Andres looks like. He looks like this. If you're wondering what deck this is the Goetia Terran Darkness. Probably, if not the best deck of all the Divines of the Goetia. Probably this is the best, if not the only one that I recommend. I don't recommend the Occult Tarot because it's... But that's just me. This deck, for me, takes the cake. And besides, it actually forces your subconscious to come to the forefront. It's all black and white and grayscale. But that's Marquis Andres. Oh, and by the way, the moon in Aquarius, yeah, that's just a coincidence because that's my moon too. Yeah. And yes, I invested alongside Marquis Andres. The one that's the most, dreadful and the one that's the most scary. Yeah. Nothing. Well, nothing wrong with that. It's just how somebody else encountered him as. If anything, how they interacted with him, that's an example of what not to do. Because for me, whenever I've interacted with Marquis Andres, or just had him around, whenever I interact with him, essentially he gets into this kind of a state. I'm trying my best to replicate it. Essentially, he does this. And if I move to the left, if I move to the right, he keeps his focus on me and he looks at me. Now, if you're not really comfortable with an entity just going, tracking your every move like that, of course you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable. But if you actually look at it from the deeper perspective, Marquis Andres is giving you his full undivided attention. He's focusing on you as long as he's around. That's an integral thing because he's prioritizing you and he's at the ready. It's only dreadful when you're not comfortable being stared at. If you're comfortable being stared at, like how he's focusing on you, you'll be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And it's simple. Don't be thinking that he's known to have, a mage's assistants kill them. Well, the thing is, if you do something like trying to push Andres in a triangle, yeah, he might not take that too good. But when you just invite him in, as any other spiritual being, see him as an equal, or even like another human being, you'll be surprised that he's actually not how people stereotypically paint him as to be. And he is reliable. He gets the job done. And once you understand him, he's actually pleasant to have around. And he's a great listener because he focuses on you. He doesn't get distracted. He doesn't get all elsewhere. He's here to listen or pretty much pay attention. Because in order to be given the task of completely eradicating someone or something, you have to have precise focus to land the critical killing blow. That's just how it is. Good. But anyway, Terrell Darkness. Oh, King Asmodeus is your patron. I love Asmodeus. I adore him so much. You busted! Right, now I want to play. Now I just want to get like a poker deck out and actually invite him over again. Oh well. No, really, I kind of want to do that. You busted. Actually, how is he depicted in this deck? And symbolically, whenever I read his entry about like when he spits out fire, well, I catch it as like when he speaks and whenever he's in a positive mood, he's jolly and he's pleasant to have around, and he knows how to have enjoyment. Where? Rest? Where? What time is it? Oh, it's 1:20. Wow. We're even about to, but In this depiction of him, he actually has Sun in Virgo, based on this deck. Let's see if there he is. All the kings are the Sun in this deck. That's how he's depicted. He's kind of like I think he's on. Yeah, well, that's his bullhead, I believe. And yeah, there's his walking stick to the right, and he's just all like, "Hey, what? You never seen a guy who rides some bull before? Hey, don't you dare look at my horns. Fine, I'm a horny one. Just take the joke." Really a pleasant one to have around. Let's see. Now I'm actually really wanting to actually just go through all of them and just share my take with them. DiCaprio, honestly, is actually one of the Goetic divine spirits that a lot of people don't even acknowledge or even know about, or because how DiCaprio appears is just a star, pointed star, and that's sad because for me, all of these Goetic divine spirits, all of them, all of them, they all deserve to be remembered. Oh, here's another one I love. President Burr. That's another one I love. All of them deserve to be acknowledged and given a chance to be approached. Oh, here's another one I love. But this depiction usually is not the norm of him, but I get it though. Here's Zabos or Solos, the one that's kind of similar to Augurus. Now, Augurus, oh, I love Augurus. He's a literal gem. Here's King Baal, the cat, the frog, and the king. Phorcys. Oh, Duchess Vipar, the mermaid that can poison you, give you putrid wounds, or maybe even drown you. I believe this is Duke Barbados. Gop, I can't remember his title. I believe he's the president. Gop. I believe, I could be wrong though. Virgo Moon, Knight of Cups, Marcasius. Gushin, Venus Taurus for temperance. There's Gushin. Gushin, I think I said his name wrong. Mercury Leo Glassa Labilos. He's a little. Glabolus is known to be kind of a unpredictable wild one. Here is Sabnok, actually having dominion over the African spirits. Sabnok. Moon in Scorpio. What's this one? Marax, Mercury in Cancer. Then we have Bifrost, Two of Cups, Mars in Scorpio. Oh, thought about drowning the guy. Then we have my card, and this is also another spirit that I have a lot of interactions in history with, and it's my card. Because why not? Queen of Cups, Jupiter in Taurus, Prince Citri. Now, Prince Citri, I'll tell you this much. He is so underrated. And pretty much what he's noted to do, and let you see your desired and no clothes on. That's like putting on a very thin layer of like peanut butter for like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's so thin. Here, let me help you with that. Prince Citri can actually help you expose someone. He can show you somebody's weakness. He also can pretty much expose and pretty much reach into somebody else's emotional intelligence and bring out and correct the part of their emotional intelligence where they lack. So if they lack in the masculine emotional intelligence, love intelligence, like they don't take initiative for the other person, they don't fight for them, they don't provide, Prince Citri would go in and balance it out. Same reverse. If someone doesn't give like the emotions or the thoughts or be considerate, balances it out. And is also able to give and pretty much open up somebody's heart all the way because you're saying it exactly how it is. Prince Tree reaches in, plucks the truth out. Completely underrated and so much more. Oh, look at that. One of my favorite, probably if not the favorite card in the deck. Okay, and also Lilith's in this deck too. And there's Lucifer, the devil. Go figure. The Venus in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn, specifically in the degrees of Shravana and the Abhijiti point, which is like the first few degrees of Capricorn. Meaning, Abhijit is actually known as the nakshatra or the constellation of victory. Any planet that's placed in there gets support from the cosmos. Assured victory. Then here's Phoenix, Moon in Libra, the two of Twigs. Here's Amy, Mercury in Capricorn. Prince Seer. I just love Prince Seer. So he's just so dignified and so easy, so considerate, and also acts quick. And always has the best. Always holds the interest of whomever's interacting with him. Always puts their well-being first. Orias, Moon in Capricorn. Then we have the Magician Andromelius, Mars in Pisces. Then we have Alkes, Venus in Sagittarius. Here we go. Here's one of my absolute favorite ones. The one and the only Duke Auguras. If you want to know how to actually communicate with anything, any language, both spoken, telepathically, even if you want to do some kind of communication like this, tapping, Morse code, Auguras can teach you that. You want to communicate with nature, like with the sound of water flowing, the wind, earth, like earth moving, earth shaking. What else is there? Fire cracking. And also understand and communicate with spirits, even the Nordic spirits, their language. Auguras can do that for you. You want to learn sign language? Braille, that's a language. What else is there? Binary. 0101, the language of computers. Foreign languages that are lost. Communicate with beings that are not of this world and understand them. Yep, you guessed it. Any kind of language, any kind of communication, regardless of who it is, Auguras is the one. And actually, if you invite him along to help be the translator for you, so that way you can understand whoever you're interacting with, he'll be thrilled to accompany you. And he's one of the most friendly and the most beginner-friendly out of all of them. In fact, he's probably my top 3, if not probably the second choice that everyone should go towards. There's a boss. Here is Gamagene. There we go. Oh, Duchess Gremory, even though she's the death card. Gremory, put it this way. Anything that involves woman, from birth to passing away. If it involves a woman, she has knowledge of it and dominion over it. Childbirth, dominion over it. Women's rights, women's health, women's ability to express herself, women's empowerment, Gremory. Because Gremory actually is able to teach the understanding of woman altogether. So, man, time to go see Duchess Grimmery for, getting rid of that dim-witted energy in your head. L'Orange, Six of Wands, Moon in Gemini. Duke Astaroth. I love Astaroth. Siamese, Moon in Aquarius. Came, Nine of Pentacles, Mercury in Sagittarius. King Persian, Sun in Cancer. Malthus, the Tower, Mercury in Libra. I love Malthus. Hippos, he who's hung most, Mercury in Capricorn. Yep, the Hangman, he who's hung most, the Hangman card. Berith, Two of Pentacles, Venus in Leo. Oh, Furfur, I love Furfur. In fact, on this name plaque, actually, I'm going to show a picture of it. And once I'm done with this, they're like, okay, fine, I'll end the stream here. I'm just so, well, I drank 2 Red Bulls. Of course I have all this energy. Find it. I know I posted about it somewhere. Okay, scrolling downward. I know I'm not paying attention to the chat. I'm sorry. I'm just. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. So now, Furfur. Check this out. This right here is actually, my uncle got me this when I was born. I'm going to read it first and show you. Brendan. Local origin of name, English. From the Irish root name, Brendan. Meaning, from the Irish Bran, meaning raven. Celtic god of the netherworld. So that way you can hopefully see it. No, you can't see it because it's too bright. There you go. That way you can see that I wasn't saying BS. Then now the next part. Furfur. Let me just get a little situated. So, in demonology, Furfur is a powerful Count of Hell. He is number 34 in the Lesser Key of Solomon. This Earl rules over 26 legions. The name Furfur in Latin means Bran. It seems like the name is a variation of Furcifer, meaning rascal. He's also a day demon. Means Bran. From the Irish Bran, meaning raven. Means Bran. The name Furfur means Bran. Bran meaning raven. Coincidence? Oh, I don't think so. So that happened. And yes, I love Furfur too. Next. We have Bathan. Venus and Gemini. Oh, Vol. Duke Vol. Venus and Scorpio. Vol knows some, it speaks in loose Egyptian. And I love Vol. Shocks, Queen of Sass. Moon in Scorpio. Hippos, Jupiter in Cancer, exaltation point. Marquise Amon, Jupiter in Taurus. And actually, this is the first, left-hand divine that I've ever interacted with. My first one. This one. President Gigante. That was my first left-hand divine that I interacted with back in 2013. 14, around there. The first one. The very first one. It's also Bast from Egyptian mythology. I also have tattooed on my lower back Bast and Sekhmet and Ankh. Dedicated to them both. Purcell, Venus in Sagittarius. Horus, Venus in Aquarius. King Belial, Sun in Pisces. I'm going to say that one for last. No, okay, fine. Second to last. The best one's for last. We have Boone, Venus in Leo, Judgment. Better. Then we have Rome, Mars in Libra. Then we have the Ace of Twigs. Then we have Duchess Vapula. We have the Aces. Then we have Renault, Mars in Leo. Then we have Visago, Jupiter in Aries. We have the Empress, Murmur, Venus in Sagittarius. The Sphinx depiction. Amdusius, Venus in Pisces, Exaltation Point. The unicorn likes to make musical instruments. Oh boy, as soon as I say his name, I might hear conga lines going dun 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 dun. Hey, the one, the only King Paimon. I'm starting to hear him. Then we have Nebrius, Moon in Cancer, Maltricona, own sign. Furfur, Moon in Leo, which actually is supposed to be like a sea monster. I believe he's depicted as a whale in one of the grimoires. Then we have Aim, Venus in Cancer. Now we have Furcos, the Hermit, Shiny, Saturn in Sagittarius. He's the only knight in the deck. Then we have Andromelius, Moon in Aquarius, the Peacock. Then we have Phoros, Mercury in Virgo, Exaltation in Maltricona. Looks like he's making the pact. Writing down terms and conditions. Belvoir, Venus in Aries, the Fool. Then we have King Vine, Sun in Scorpio, the Black Sun in the back. We have President Valak, Mercury in Aquarius. Also the one that played, the big role in the Nun, supposedly. But I hate those Conjuring movies. They mention them and they pretty much speak of them in the wrong way. Halphus, Mars in Libra. Then we have Balaam, Sun in Sagittarius, the Wheel of Fate. Piss it. Stick it. Then we have Oribos, Jupiter, Gur, and Honey Bear. Did I stutter? Thank you. Prick. Oribos, Jupiter in Capricorn, the world. 1. Good choice. Oh. Prince Stolos. Absolutely love having him around. He's a sweetheart. King Beleth, Sun in Gemini. President Marbus, the Hierophant, not the He Who Font. That's different. Marquis Andros, I've shown you him. The Emperor. Whoop. Just kidding. There's another one. Urgos, Venus and Gemini. Then the Emperor, King Zagon. And then we're back to President Burr. So now the last two. High Priestess. Duke Dantalion. I can't tell you how many times Duke Dantalion's been there and helped me a lot. Venus and Pisces, Exaltation, which makes perfect sense. And I mean, once you interact with Duke Dantalion, I mean, he's a riot. He doesn't talk to me. Stupid fag. Oh, tends to do that sometimes. Idiot. Yeah. I just mentioned his name and he just comes in. And last but not least, of course, the lovely Lilith. As the lovers, funny enough. But anyway, so yeah, I essentially just walked through this old deck without any reason to. But anyway, I'm gonna take my leave here, and I'll probably come on tomorrow night again. So for all of you that watched, thank you, and also thank you to my new member, and also to Annie. And I'm gonna just go and grab my blade and start chasing after this thing because I'm getting annoyed with them. But anyway, I'll talk to you two probably in like about a few moments, and we'll go from there. And tomorrow's live, we'll see. I also have my newest episode for my podcast up, and next week, this coming Friday, the next episode will be out. But anyway, doodaloo.